This is
the official National Lampoon car stereo test and demonstration tape.
It is not a phonograph record. If you are playing it on a phonograph, carefully remove it and place it in a cassette player, preferably in a car, which is a big oval-shaped object with wheels. Of all the tests on
the official National Lampoon car stereo test and demonstration tape,
the following is the most important, for this is the test which will show you how to determine whether or not your car stereo system has been stolen. To perform the test, reach your hand to where your car stereo is supposed to be. Do you feel something solid, or do you feel just air? Move your hand back and forth. You should feel tiny protrusions that audio engineers refer to as knobs. If you feel these things, your car stereo has not been stolen, and you can proceed with confidence to the remaining tests on
the official National Lampoon car stereo test and demonstration tape.
Would you like even more information on car stereo than you'll hear on this tape? You don't have to send away for anything or pay 1 penny more. All you have to do is look in
the official National Lampoon car stereo primer
that came with this album, unless it was stolen, or it fell out, or you're one of those people who never really got the hang of reading.
And now, an official message from the official National Lampoon car stereo test and demonstration tape.
For the tests on this tape, we expect you to keep control. That is, unless otherwise stated, keep your balance, fader, and tone controls in the center position. We went through a lot of trouble creating this tape, and we're not going to have the likes of you lousing it up, okay?
And now, the official National Lampoon audio jigsaw puzzle.
You'll find the pieces of this puzzle scattered throughout this tape. To put the puzzle together, just re-record them one right after another. You'll recognize a familiar tune. Here's piece number 1. Car stereo, like home stereo, consists of 2 channels, each producing different sounds. In the homes of people with normal ears, these channels are placed to the right and left of the listener. But in car stereo, the 2 channels may be found on either the left and right of the car, or the front and back. This test will let you determine what kind of system you have.
Hey, watch that wheel, you jerk! Don't you go so fast! Yeah, look out! You're moving in! Look out, you're driving on the sidewalk! Watch those potholes! I just banged my curlers on the ceiling! I don't know why I let you pick me up in the first place!
If the backseat driver you just heard came from the back or front of the car, then you have a system with front-to-back separation. If, on the other hand, the backseat driver came from the right or left of the car, then you have a system with right-to-left separation. Now, be sure to remember this, because you'll need to know it for upcoming tests, and you don't want your nice car stereo to get a failing grade because of you.
I've been on this empty road so long that love is just another word in some old country song. She left me back in Abilene, oh dear, but I think of her each time I test my gear. A 30 cycle tone is deep like her love. A 60 cycle tone is clear as summer skies above. 100 cycle tone is smooth as her lips, and 500 is as soft as her fingertips. 1,000 cycles beat as fast as my heart. 5,000 is as sharp as when we had to part. 10,000 cycles ring like her last phone call. 15,000 can just be heard on the most loving hi-fis of all. I passed the junkyards and the waving weed. And now I think I'll stop and get me something to eat. In the song you just heard, all the tones were recorded at exactly the same level of loudness. Most car stereo systems have little trouble reproducing the middle tones, but only the very best can reproduce the lowest and the highest tones. If your system didn't test out well, perhaps it's time for you to move on to another.
The word head has different meanings to different people. To a sailor, it means the bathroom. To a corporation, it means the boss.
You're fired!
To a young man, it means something else. And to the owner of a car stereo tape player, it means the tiny component that brushes against the moving tape and magically sucks off the delicate audio signal. Like all heads, the tape head must be positioned correctly in order to do its job. Should it get misaligned, one result can be a loss of high frequencies. To test for this, in the following, you'll hear a dirty, filthy, disgusting traveling salesman joke that will have you laughing for hours. The joke begins normally, but as it continues, we're going to electronically filter out more and more of the lower frequencies until, by the time you hear the punchline, there'll be nothing left except the very highest frequencies that only a properly aligned tape head can produce. If you can't hear the entire joke, you haven't taken care of your equipment and you don't deserve to laugh.
One day, this traveling salesman is real tired, and he stops at this farmhouse and asks if he can spend the night. Okay, the farmer says, but you'll have to sleep in the room with my beautiful daughter. And I'm warning you, if you do anything naughty with her, I'll punish you by slapping your wrist. So the salesman, he goes upstairs, and it's pitch black, and he lies down and he figures, heck, I've been on the road a long time now, and a slap on the wrist isn't so bad. So he goes over and has a real good time with the daughter, and then he goes to sleep. Well, in the morning, they're sitting down to breakfast when the farmer says to the salesman, I know what you did last night. And the salesman, he holds out his wrist and says, okay, go ahead and slap my wrist. But instead, the farmer, he takes a shotgun down from the wall and aims it right at the salesman. Why are you going to shoot me, the salesman says. You said you'd only slap my wrist. That was if you bothered my daughter, the farmer says. I told you to take a left at the top of the stairs, not a right. And there ain't no one who gets away with fooling around with my blue ribbon sheep.
Power, and lots of it. That's the primary concern of every car stereo buyer. And with good reason, because if your car stereo is more powerful, then you're more powerful. Just like extra horsepower, a few extra watts can turn you from a skinny, shy loser with women to a muscular, outgoing, aggressive He-Man on the move. The following test will enable you to see just how much your car stereo system can put out before becoming a gargling, distorted mess. First, set your volume control so that my voice right now is at average listening level. Now, listen to the following special recording. What we've done is to take a popular melody typical of a modern-day FM station and record it over and over again, but each time at a higher level than the last one. At a certain degree of loudness, even the most aggressive stereo system will distort. But if your system can make it through the 4th or 5th level, then you really are off on a power trip.
Zoom, zoom. Zoom will make you run around, smell like roses. Zoom will make you run around, smell like roses. Zoom, zoom. Zoom will make you run around, smell like roses. Zoom will make you run around, smell like roses. Zoom, zoom. Zoom will make you run around, smell like roses. Zoom will make you run around, smell like roses. Zoom, zoom. Zoom will make you run around, smell like roses. Zoom will make you run around, smell like roses. Zoom, zoom. Zoom will make you run around, smell like roses. Zoom will make you run around, smell like roses. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
The previous test included promotional material for which compensation in the form of money and touching of women was paid to the creators of this tape. In a moment, we're going to have the chance to play a little joke on one of your friends. But first, you must become proficient at using the balance and fader controls on your car stereo. Listen to the sound of the buzzing bee. The bee should sound as if it's coming from the middle of the car. If it sounds too much to the left or right, or front or back, adjust your balance and fader controls until the buzzing is as close to the middle as you can get it. Experiment with different positions of the controls and observe how, by finding just the right combination, you can make the buzzing bee seem to come from anywhere in the car.
Here, audio footnote 1.
Now, let's use these controls to play a little joke on your friends with what follows: the world's first scientifically valid audio whoopee cushion. In a moment, we'll play a sound that is considered most embarrassing to the person whose part of the car it comes from. When you're alone in the car, play the sound and skillfully use your fader and balance controls to make it come from front or back, from left or right or middle. Then, when the car is full and your friends are sitting just where you want them, secretly start the tape. We guarantee you one of your friends will turn red as a beet and the others will get as far away from him or her as possible.
Audio footnote 1.
The action of your balance and fader controls will vary according to whether you have left-right or front-back stereo separation. For details, consult
The official National Lampoon Car Stereo Primer.
Also see
The official National Lampoon Car Stereo Primer.
for scratch and sniff demonstration.
And now, an official National Lampoon honk-along.
Have some fun filling in the missing notes with your own car horn. Sometimes, when a pair is supposed to work together, they do it perfectly.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Oh, yeah.
Give it to
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Give it to me, honey. Oh, give it to me.
yeah.
Oh, you big thing, you. Oh, you big thing. Honey.
Other times, however, they do not work together perfectly.
Honey.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Honey,
yes,
can we
darling.
extend the patio? Can we extend the patio?
And so it is with car stereo speakers.
Here, audio footnote 2.
When the wires coming from the amplifier are attached to the speaker terminals in the right order, the speakers work together the way they should. Or, to use an official engineering term, they are in phase. If the wires are hooked up out of order, speakers work against each other, and this can result in loss of stereo separation, distortion, and impaired low-frequency response.
Audio footnote 2.
For more information about phase, see
The official National Lampoon Car Stereo Primer.
one of the official criteria that distinguishes a top-quality car stereo system is its separation, sometimes referred to as crosstalk. Here's one kind of crosstalk.
Why, you dirty little mother...
The other kind of crosstalk happens when sound that should be coming from one channel only can also be heard in the other channel. In a good car stereo system, even for very loud passages, crosstalk is at a minimum and the stereo separation effect is considerable. The following selection will help you test for this. We proudly take you to the finals of
the official National Lampoon Pneumatic Drilling Olympics. Lining up now, folks. On the left, the American drill team. And on the right, the Chinese drill team. First, the Americans. 6.2 seconds. Now the Chinese. 6.4 seconds. And the Americans have it.
If your stereo system has left-right separation, when the American team was drilling, they should have been heard only on the left, and the Chinese team only on the right. If your system has front-back separation, the Americans should have been heard only in the front, or only in the back, and the Chinese only in the opposite location. To whatever extent you could hear one team in the speakers on the wrong side, your system could have better separation. As a further test for separation, we present the following anonymous split personality on loan to us from a Midwestern state hospital.
I love my parents. I'm glad I'm a man. I wish my children were goldfish.
Separation is what stereo is really all about, and you'll hear demonstrations of it throughout this tape. For example, we were fortunate to obtain a recording of considerable interest in the history of railroading, a tug-of-war between an old man and a metroliner.
You think this newfangled gadget's gonna beat an old man? They're wrong. I got you now. You dumb machine, I'm gonna pull you right. Come on now. I got you. Come on, little look now. Oh, just about to the... Come on. Oh, please, no. No, no. Oh, no. Ah!
Car stereo systems, like most of us, are prone to giving out embarrassing noises from time to time. But don't be quick to pass blame, for often these noises are caused by external sources, such as the car engine, should there be one, or even passing telephone lines. In any case, the man or woman who wishes to be an understanding and tolerant car stereo owner will become familiar with the different types of interference. In the following, as I read a list of common car stereo noisemakers, I myself shall be interfered with, in each case by the very interference to which I refer. This interference is from the ignition system, one of the most common causes of noise. From the generator or alternator, also one of the most common noises. From a windshield wiper. This means that somebody's hiding a condom near the tape drive. If you or your car stereo is plagued by persistent noise, some troubleshooting is in order. Check all wire connections, ground straps, and antenna grounding. Check to be sure that spark plug cables are the resistor type. However, if you don't know what these things are, don't check them yourself. A competent serviceman can often find and quickly correct interference problems. Noise suppressor kits are also available at car stereo dealers. Tape hiss. Everyone who's ever pushed his finger into a play button has heard it, or heard about it. And our next test has been scientifically calculated to bring out tape hiss in even the quietest sound system.
Why are you tying me to this railroad track?
Seemed like a good way to spend a Tuesday morning. And here's the 5:19, right on schedule. Ticket, please.
My boyfriend, oh, Puritan, come and rescue.
Yuck.
If you heard even the slightest suggestion of tape hiss in the previous selection, you have a highly moral and ethical car stereo system that has been brought up properly. However, there is one kind of hiss that you don't want to hear, the kind that has forever plagued tape listeners and once almost threatened to prevent the cassette from becoming a true high-fidelity medium. It sounds like this, and is particularly noticeable during quieter passages and most evident in periods of no sound at all. In the following, therefore, you will hear a moment of absolute, pure silence. Listen to it carefully.
Oh, come on, honey. Just once. I already filled the waterbed with whipped cream, and I brought the squid from the aquarium, and I spent all week training the rooster.
No! It's sick, and I don't want to hear another word about it!
In the thick, angry silence that just passed, you should have heard nothing. If you heard no hiss, congratulations. If you heard just a low hiss, your system is still pretty darn good. If you heard significant hiss, start learning about noise reduction systems.
And now, the official National Lampoon audio jigsaw puzzle. Piece number 2.
At times, while you're driving, a weak AM or FM station may drift or fade in and out as you turn corners or drive past hills, mountains, or tall buildings that block the signal. There is, unfortunately, no practical way to correct for this other than making sure that your antenna is fully extended. To provide you with the most realistic possible example, we placed our microphones in an actual car and drove far away from one of the country's most progressive but low-powered FM stations, and then turned lots of corners and drove up and down mountains.
Hi there, honey. This is Bambi. I'm part of a nationwide organization of beautiful young girls who know just how to please a man. Honey, for just $50, one of us from your area will come over to your place, and first we'll slowly take off all of our clothes, and we'll show you our beautiful, hot, naked, glistening bodies, and then we'll take you out. We've installed the first nationwide toll-free number for our type of service. You can call anytime, honey, 24 hours a day. Oh, and honey, don't forget this number, 800-506. That's 800-506.
In official tape engineering language, wow doesn't mean wow. It refers to what happens when the motor of a tape player, instead of being a good little motor and turning at constant speed, slowly wavers in speed, causing noticeable waver of pitch. And flutter means that the disobedient motor does the same thing, only the back and forth wavering is faster. We will now demonstrate, and then test for these important properties. Here is our chief engineer.
Thank you! To help us with the demonstration, we've hired 2 special assistants. Mr. Leonard, welcome.
Thanks. I really need the bread to get through medical school.
And Mrs. Johnson.
Thank you so much. My child is sick and we need the money.
All right, let's begin. Mr. Leonard, first, to give our listeners an example of a constant tone, one without any wow, what are you going to do?
I'm going to smash my thumb hard with a steel-edged hammer.
Okay, ready? And now, as an example of wow,
I'm going to stick my other hand in and out of a pot of boiling water.
All set?
Yes.
And now for our flutter demonstration. Mrs. Johnson, how are you going to give us a constant tone for reference?
I'm gonna get my hand caught in a bear trap.
Terrific! Ready?
Yes.
And finally, Mrs. Johnson, what about an example of flutter?
I'm gonna stick my other hand into a light socket with regular 120 volt alternating current.
Go to it.
I need the money. I need the money.
It's okay. You can stop now. You can... now, so you can test your own system, we give you a constant tone. If it shows any sign of slow or fast wavering, your car stereo system is a victim of wow or flutter. Are you all right?
And now a special treat, recorded live at Knoxville's Purple Scallion. The X-rated trucker songs of Lulu Bell.
Hitch a ride in Kansas, where the truckers ride the road. 'Cause a girl can lose her purity to some old one-toad. Yes, I'll tell you now my story about an 18-wheeler truck and an 18-year-old who got an 18-wheeler.
Hey! Excuse me, man, but this is your tape head speaking. Listen, I'm sorry about interrupting. I don't make a practice of this, you know. I just play you the music you want day in and day out. But man, I just had to come out in the open and lay this rap on you. Because you're killing me, man. I mean, do you know what a car is full of, man? Dust and dirt. It's not like that fancy-ass relative of mine, your home stereo system where your mother or your girlfriend comes in and keeps the place spotless. Listen, you wouldn't believe all those dust particles that settle on me in a car. And then what do? You run a tape over me and you grind them into me. Oh, God. I see a big one coming along right now. It's killing me! How would you like it if someone ground little grains of sand into you? Listen, pal, I'm getting weaker and weaker. I'm gonna lose my ability to give you high frequencies, and one of these days, I'm gonna go. So please, man, those tapes of yours, don't just keep them out where they pick up all that dirt. Keep them in those little plastic boxes they gave you. And for the love of mercy, get some head cleaner and clean me once in a while. And do it every 40 hours of playing. And another thing, man, you gotta demagnetize me. You see, when I play those tapes of yours, I get these magnetic fields inside of me, and they really can mess up my mind. I can go schizo. I can lose my identity. Where am I? Who am I? Man, when I'm strung out like this, I can't play your tapes as well as I should. So get a demagnetizer and do me every 50 hours of playing, will ya? Please. Hey, listen, I'm sorry if I got out of control. There's just a limit to what a guy can take. I'll shut up now and do my job and play the rest of this tape, and you won't hear from me again.
You learn my lesson if you want to grow up sweet. Don't hitch no ride in Kansas, baby, where the truckers, they carry me.
You have now reached the end of side 1 of
the official National Lampoon car stereo test and demonstration tape.
If you have a tape deck with automatic reverse, the tape should now reverse automatically and play side 2. If you do not have a tape deck with automatic reverse, then you are the reversing linkage, and as a smoothly functioning component of your system, you must now pull the tape from the slot, turn it around, put it back in, and proceed to play the entire other side. If you do not do this, then you are a malfunctioning unit. This is side 2 of
the official National Lampoon car stereo test and demonstration tape.
It is not side 1. If you meant to play side 1, then you've failed to pass your test, and you obviously don't have what it takes to own a decent car stereo system, or to meet good-looking girls, or to get a high-paying job in electronics from a matchbook cover. However, if you did intend to play side 2, you have a fine mind and will doubtlessly have a long and happy life and meet lots of beautiful women and make a lot of money. Is it Saturday night and you're all alone in your car? Or Friday night and you're alone? Or any other night? Or day and you're alone without the feminine companionship a healthy red-blooded car stereo owner desires? And for someone like you, does it always seem to be that way? Well, cheer up, because National Lampoon understands. And we're going to help you, at least as much as we can on a tape. Because, for your pleasure and satisfaction, we now present the voice of an actual naked woman. The fact that this woman is totally naked while speaking these words is hereby attested to by a notary public.
My name is H.W. Muchnick, and I am a licensed notary public of the state of New York, number 31-804-5775. I am not an actor. I hereby attest to the fact that the woman reciting the following words is completely naked. To this, I affix my seal at Studio 21, 635 Madison Avenue, New York, New York, 10022, on this 21st day of May, 1980.
Hi, I'm a naked woman. I'm 22 years old, with a beautiful face and a terrific figure, and I don't have a stitch of clothing anywhere on my body. I'm naked from head to toe. I really, honestly am completely, totally naked while I'm saying this. Thank you.
And now, the official National Lampoon audio jigsaw puzzle. Piece number 3. And now, an official National Lampoon car safety service. If you see a car coming toward you and you realize that your horn isn't working, quickly wind the tape up to the following section, turn the volume control all the way to the right, and hit the play button. An official National Lampoon car stereo, do or don't.
For those car stereos with mono stereo switching, do make sure the switch is in the stereo position. The mono mode is highly contagious and will affect other car stereos in the area.
And now, the top 10 loudest sounds, beginning with loud sound number 10, a load of dynamite exploding in a cave. Loud sound number 9, recorded during construction of the 110-story World Trade Center, 6,000 riveters working at once. And loud sound number 8, a 300-pound opera singer finding a mouse in her brassiere. Moving on to loud sound number 7, a wrecking ball accidentally smashing into an all-glass building which is fully occupied. In the number 6 spot, a surprise volcano destroying a whole island packed with people and animals. Now for the big number 5. 2 freight trains colliding head-on. each of them carrying 26 full cars of hand grenades. Number 4, a bombing raid on a city that is simultaneously being blown up by a volcano. Getting closer to that big number 1, number 3, a 500 million ton missile being launched from Cape Kennedy during a severe thunderstorm, and then exploding.
Attention all personnel, please clear the service structure and pad of all non-operational personnel.
Clear the missile brigade. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
For the runner-up, the coveted number 2 position, the entire London Women's Chorus finding that each of them has a mouse in their brassieres. This is it, ladies and gentlemen, the big number 1, the loudest sound, the sound all the others will have to try to beat, a water faucet dripping, while a hurricane destroys the house the faucet is in, which is simultaneously being destroyed by a volcano and an earthquake, while a 50-ton meteorite from outer space crashes into it while it's being H-bombed and a 400-piece rock band plays in the background. And now, an official National Lampoon audio cryptogram.
Those are the notes of the scale, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. In a moment, we'll play a short melody. In this melody, simply replace each note with the letter that represents it, and you'll spell out a little-known but powerful aphrodisiac. And if that doesn't work, try this. In today's increasingly loud environment, the car stereo system is asked to cope with a great deal of ear-shattering noise from both in the car and outside. Indeed, the extent to which you can still enjoy your music, in spite of these constant interruptions, is the perfect measure of the sonic efficiency of your system. To help you test for this, in the following you will hear a beautiful and tender violin solo. Then we will slowly add the types of noises that are typical of today's busy automotive lifestyle and gradually make them louder. If you can enjoy half the violin solo, you have a pretty decent system. If you can enjoy 3/4 of the solo, you have a truly excellent system. If you can enjoy the entire solo, then you have one of the finest car stereo systems on the market.
Pull over, buddy. Don't you know it's illegal to drive without windows?
Daddy, I have to go to the bathroom.
would you take me home? I've got a headache.
Come on, Dad. You said I could drive.
So she says to me, who do you think you are anyway? And I says to her, I'll tell you who I think I am. I think I'm me, that's who. And then she says to me, who do you think you're talking to anyway? And then I says to her, I know who I'm talking to. Who do you think you're talking to? And then she says to me, I know who I'm talking to.
My body!
Daddy, is it okay that I went to the bathroom in the glove compartment?
Stop here. It's evocative and I want to take a picture.
The toll's a buck, buddy, and no Susan B. Anthony.
Wash your windshield, bro. I even got... What?
Darling, I don't know how to tell you this, but I've decided marriage is too restrictive a lifestyle. And besides, I fell in love with the milk person. I'll take the color TV, but you can have all the kids.
Faggots! How do I get me to Muldoon Street?
Hey, man. Thanks for picking me up. Sure is cold out there. Now just take out your wallet real slow, 'cause I got a sawed-off shotgun in my designer jeans.
In conjunction with the Pan American Psychological Association, we now present
an official National Lampoon audio ink blot test.
Listen to the following sound carefully and write down what you think it says. To interpret your answer, see
the official National Lampoon car stereo primer.
Prepare yourself for a journey you've never taken. For the next few moments, you are going to know what it feels like to be a sound.
You're born in the pristine darkness of a speaker cone. Pure silence. And then, suddenly, energy. The cone vibrates, throbs with life. And you exist. You are. Pure, harmonious, and perfect. And you feel yourself being gently urged forward, out of the dark confines of your speaker womb and into the world outside. Your only purpose, to give pleasure, to be rich and fine and free, until your final moments at the eardrum. But wait. Be careful. A hard, flat surface. No! No! Splattered against the windshield. You're torn apart. You're echoing, ringing. But desperately, you still move on, driven by that one powerful instinct to fulfill your life's mission, to find and enter the ear. But careful, careful. Don't get too close to that soft seat cushion. It's pulling you in. It's absorbing you. Tattered now. A shadow of your former self. You've learned the terrible truth. That a car is not an ideal acoustic environment. It exaggerates certain frequencies. It absorbs others. And as you finally approach the eardrum and the end of your brief life, as you face an eternity of hollow non-existence, you hear a voice. And the person for whom you are making the ultimate sacrifice, you hear him say,
"Oh, that sounds like crap."
But that sound need not have died in vain. For if you understand that the car itself may be the source of your sonic troubles, then you can do something about it. You can try different placements for your speakers. You can use your tone control, or you can precisely compensate for frequencies that are being exaggerated or reduced by adding an equalizer. So help. Please help. And give to audio research.
Presenting an official National Lampoon Auto Fantasy.
If you were sitting behind the wheel of a brand new Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow, this is how it would sound. Let's face it, We all enjoy a good practical joke now and then, and sad indeed is the lot of the man who cannot laugh at himself the way he laughs at others. So here's how you can have a little innocent, playful fun with your friends. We're going to take advantage of the fact that when you're playing a tape on your car stereo, there's really no way for someone else to tell that you aren't playing the radio. So the next time you go driving with someone, before they get into the car, place this tape in your car stereo. Then, when you've been out for a while, say something casual like, "I think I'll turn on the radio." But instead of putting the radio on, secretly hit the tape button and play the following. We guarantee your driving companion will be in for quite a surprise.
Nothing about you is sublime. You've always been in the big time. Ready or not for the small line. I'm gonna get you to be mine. You're so discreet, an unexpected treat. Oh, so debonair, but I know better. Love it when you call it sensation. Moving on a great reputation. Don't know how it's got to be with you. Everybody's waiting to see you. Love it when you call it sensation. Love it when you call it sensation. Love it when you call it sensation. Love it when you call it sensation.
Hey, how about that? Boy, they're really something, aren't they? We're gonna move on here now and get into something real.
Bulletin. Ladies and gentlemen, something has happened in Washington. Apparently, the president has declared a state of emergency. We're expecting a report from the Pentagon. We'll connect you as soon as we... Here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen of America, this is General Warren Elberoy. The DEW line has reported missiles flying overhead, and these missiles have been identified as Russian. They are aimed at major military and civilian targets across these United States. The President has not been able to receive a response on the hotline and is taking appropriate action. Do not panic. Repeat. Do not panic. Proceed to shelter immediately. Go to the nearest telephone. Call your loved ones and instruct them to do the same. We are doing everything possible to ensure the survival of our country. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a test.
Test to see how scared you could get. You see, this isn't a radio station you're listening to. It's a special tape in the driver's car stereo. It's all a joke he was playing on you with...
The official National Lampoon car stereo test and demonstration tape.
If it gave you a jolt, maybe that's what we all need right now. Let's stick together as Americans and do our best to see that it doesn't happen for real.
Or, if you're riding with a pretty girl, try this one.
Ready or not for the small line. I'm gonna get you to be mine. You're so discreet, an unexpected treat. Oh, so debonair, but I know better. Love it when you call it sensation. Moving on a great reputation. Don't know how it's got to be with you. Everybody's waiting to see you. Love it when you call it sensation. Love it when you call it sensation. Love it when you call it sensation. Love it when you call it sensation.
Hey, how about that? Boy, they're really something, aren't they? We're gonna move on here now and get into something real.
Bulletin. Special just in from our newsroom. It seems that a little-known amendment has been attached by Congress to the recent major appropriations bill and has been signed by the President into law. As of this moment, every woman is legally required to give as much sex as demanded to any man who requests it. The penalty for any woman so refusing will be a mandatory 25 years in federal prison. So if you're a woman who's with a man, you must do anything and everything he requests, as many times as he requests it. Now back to our program.
How about that? Let's just move right on to some more music.
Now we take you to the official National Lampoon Fire Truck Demolition Derby.
Now that you have thoroughly tested your car stereo system to be sure it is functioning properly, you are ready to make the most of it. And you will find that a well-trained and disciplined car stereo can not only provide delightful entertainment during your driving hours, but can also be put to significant practical use in meeting the problems of daily life. As a public service,
the official National Lampoon Car Stereo Test and Demonstration Tape
now presents a selection of practical ways to take advantage of your car stereo to make your life simpler, safer, and more pleasurable.
Practical use 1.
Highways in the United States are notoriously long, and places to stop among them are few and far between. And the human body, like a fine-tuned car, can often be very insistent about having its demands met. As a motorist, you will sooner or later have the experience of hearing the call of nature when the nearest gas station or rest stop is miles and miles ahead. And there's no place to pull over where lots of men, women, and little children can't see you. When you find yourself in this uncomfortable circumstance, simply play the following. If necessary, rewind and play it again and again until you find a gas station, or until it's too late.
It's okay. You can hold out. Come on, you can do it. You're not a little baby anymore. You're a big grown-up person. You can't be that bad. Your body is your friend. You have control over your body. Try a little meditation. See? Nice and easy, Tiger. Relax, calm down, mellow out, lighten up. Your insides are nice guys. They don't want to get you in trouble. Relax, relax, relax. There'll be a gas station one of these miles. Really now, what would your mommy and daddy think?
Now we take you to the official National Lampoon 747 Demolition Derby.
Practical use 2.
The following selection should prove very useful to you on the way to work in the morning. Be sure to play it every day.
Come on, Tiger. Get those eyes wide open. Today's the day you're gonna go in and get him. That boss of yours, who does he think he is treating you that way? You'll show him a thing or two. Why, you'll get a great idea this morning and they'll notice you all the way at the top and you'll be his boss someday. Oh, where's that guy who once was gonna take on the whole world? Where's that guy who wasn't gonna stop until he hit the top? So what if it's taking a little longer? So what if it's a little harder? So what if you're working with the most incompetent, backstabbing bunch of nincompoops in the whole Western Hemisphere and no one ever listens to a word you say? You know you're the one with the real stuff inside where it counts. Now fight that traffic jam, hit that desk, get those reports in on time, and remember, mister, you've got people depending on you. come on. Remember, today is the first day of the rest of your career.
Practical use 3.
The following selection should prove very useful to you on the way home from work in the evening. Be sure to play it every day.
It's okay, Tiger. So today was a rough one. Listen, you tried. You really tried. Come on, get that chin up. You had some great ideas. It's their loss if they wouldn't listen. You know those incompetent, backstabbing bunch of nincompoops wouldn't recognize a good idea if it hit them in the face. They're running scared, that's all. And even if you weren't at your best today, so what? Do you think Babe Ruth hit a home run each time he got up to bat? So cheer up, buddy. Things could be worse. Remember, tomorrow is the first day of the rest of your career. And don't worry. Your wife will believe you were working late. Hasn't she always?
An official National Lampoon car stereo, do or don't.
Do not purchase car stereos with too much power. These stereos tend to make unilateral decisions.
Practical use 4.
One of the main purposes of having a car is the opportunity this gives one to introduce oneself to attractive women one may pass while driving. To this end, various approaches have been tried, ranging from sticking your head out the window and shouting,
Hey, babe! Wanna
to the more sophisticated modern approach.
Hello, modern woman walking down the street? Perhaps to a managerial level job or a consciousness-raising session? Wanna
Unfortunately, such approaches may fail. Therefore, National Lampoon, to help you out in this important endeavor, commissioned a team of top-level psychologists, great international lovers, and men from California who go around with the tops of their shirts unbuttoned wearing neck medallions. This top-flight girl-getting think tank has put together the following selection, which is guaranteed to win the heart of any woman you pass. And to recite it as commandingly as possible, we hired the most powerful, deep-voiced professional announcer that money could buy. Turn your volume control all the way up. When you pass a pretty girl, poke your head out the window and play the following. Then mouth along with the words so she'll think they're coming from you. This irresistible selection follows.
Pardon me, miss, but what's your sign? Nice weather, isn't it? Do you happen to have change of a quarter? What time is it, please? Wanna come up and see my etchings? Wanna
And now, the official National Lampoon audio jigsaw puzzle. Piece number 4.
We're almost out of space on
the official National Lampoon car stereo test and demonstration tape.
But there's just time for one more delicious helping of the X-rated trucker songs of Lulu Bell.
Well, I'm gonna tell a story of what happened in Kentucky.
When a pretty gal, whose name was Sal, kinda got down on her luck. Then she met a man named Willie with a mattress in his truck. From a mattress to a mistress,